Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Jen, and we are Defining Adventure. You can find us on YouTube and Instagram.
Perfect. This is our 2020 Ford Transit, all-wheel drive, high roof, extended. Her name is a toss-up between Barb or 3B, which stands for Barb the Bougie Beluga. So what we're gonna do, we'll start with going around the outside before we move to the inside. So here we'll start in the front, and there's not much to notice here except for we did a vinyl wrap. This was a DIY vinyl wrap. We've never done it before, but it came out good. We don't have any air bubbles or wrinkles, and it's held up well. Looking up a little bit higher, we've got a fairing that we got from Colorado Fairing Company. We took one of their designs and we had them customize it a little bit. I had them add a little thin blue line flag on the lower right because of my law enforcement past. Then we can move around to our tires. We've got the BFG KO2s. These are size 245, 75, R16. They did fit without a lift. That was a concern of a lot of people. However, we have added a 2-inch Van Compass lift since then, and really have had no problems. We also added Ford Transit wheel well liners to help prevent snow getting caked up inside the wheel well. Behind that, we've got some running boards. I don't remember the name of them, but this was actually one of the first things that we put on. And just like you saw Paco jump inside, the reason we did that was twofold. Really, one was for the dogs so that they can get in easier. One of our dogs' hips isn't the greatest, so we would want them to help getting in. And it's also very comfortable for both of us. The windows we have are AMA windows. All the windows that we put in are AMA windows. Again, our bunk window is the AMA window. We really like the way it looks and the way it performs. In the back, the only thing that we've really done was added a 15 amp plug, and we just made a hole in the bumper and of course installed that there and wired it in. And once we get inside to the electrical system, we'll talk about that a little bit more. So the solar panels are 400 watts and we got them from Rich Solar. Good company. It was one of the companies that we could actually get solar panels from in a timely manner during COVID, so we ended up going with them. Hindsight though, their technical support wasn't the best, so it's just one of those things. I would still probably buy from them again, but that's something you need to be aware of. Tech support and just getting in touch with the company is hit or miss.
Alright, well here we are. This is the kitchen, obviously. We've got plenty of storage. We do have our Berkey, because you know you gotta have fresh water. Plenty of tools, and it is stuck on there so it doesn't move. We have our faucet, in and out, and fancy paper towel holder so it stays in place. We made our cabinets. Plenty of storage up here, and it has a nice big old lip in here so nothing's gonna come flying out. All of our clothes. I have a little more space than he does. Our windows, we did our shiplap here and up here, so if you notice there are two different colors. I don't know if that shows up, but just tried doing a little bit different. We've got more storage in here. And if you notice, they're soft close, so it makes it easy. Plenty of snacks. And then if we go over here, it's where we have our Iceco fridge freezer combo, but we have it set as a fridge because we don't need the freezer right now. I have the fridge up high here, and see how it's even with my countertop, so we can use this as counter space, where if Eric's in here with me, we have plenty of space for both of us. Alright, this is our electrical control center. where we would charge our stuff for like our watch or phone here. This is a 12 volt, so you can plug anything in there. Then this is our Victron energy. So this is going to let us know how much energy we have in our batteries, in the solar panels, and then our max air fans. So you see that we do have 2 of them. So we have 2 fans, and then we have another fan here. So this one is very convenient. It spins, put it wherever you need it to go. Super light, super handy. And then we go into our bedroom. This is a short queen size bed, super comfortable. We can lay either way, so depending on if we're on a hill or a slight thing, we'll just switch the pillows to that side. Or if we want to watch a movie, we might put the pillows up here with our feet that way. Or if we have company over and we want to watch a movie, we can turn the TV to face that way. We have a lovely seating area, but we can move the pillow here, and I'll show you what's inside. Inside we have our lovely toilet. Then we have our propane tank for our backup heater and our shower stuff. Good storage area. Nobody has to see it. Well, here we have another area. So we do have an indoor shower or outdoor shower, whichever you prefer. So you have our mixing valve and the shower head. All right, and here we have a regular outlet, our water heater, and then we have this one is for our main lights, and then we have alternate lights, and then our water pump. And then I usually hang my trash here, or gloves or anything.
When we were outside, we talked about how the panels were held to the wall, and most of the walls are made out of 1/2-inch Baltic birch. And just like we were talking about using those locator or the hanger bolts as a locator to find out where they go, you'll see I used black panhead bolts, so that way I could be flush with the wood, and we just use a countersink to make sure that we can get a nice flush fit on all these. And it also provides me the flexibility that if I need to get to some of the wiring behind it, I could have this van back to a cargo van in probably less than 2 hours by just unbolting everything. The bed comes out real easily. I can unbolt all of these, and yeah, so it's really versatile. If we decide that we want to change something, we can just unbolt it, redo it, bolt it back in, and change it up. We talked a little bit about what this heater was. This is a Wave 3 heater. It's a catalytic heater. It's kind of like what some might know as a Little Buddy. The difference being the Little Buddy has an open flame on it. This one does not. It's more or less a chemical reaction, and we opted for this because I could mount this to the wall, so that way if we do have our dogs with us, we don't have to worry about them bumping into it and knocking it over and potentially starting a fire. And it also just increases the safety for us and for them. We do still keep windows open as recommended by the factory, just a little bit to make sure we have adequate oxygen. But regardless, we do have a carbon monoxide detector, so that way if we were in a situation where we were losing oxygen, we would be notified, and we can make we could get some oxygen into the van before somebody wakes up dead.
Cool.
Underneath we have our pass-through storage. We've got a L-track here that allows us to tie things down, but it also prevents things from sliding forward. If you can see that we have bins on here. It's never been a problem. We drive pretty responsibly, but it prevents things from sliding forward. I've never had an issue with it, but I also have some bungees that go between the top and bottom, and I can crisscross it across if that was going to be an issue. We talked about our water system, and we have 30 gallons of fresh water, which is plumbed to the shower heads in the front and back, and the sink drains into a 5-gallon gray water tank. And it's just a simple system. We've got the small compact RV P-trap that uses some hose that goes right into the gray tank, and it's worked well for us. We keep the vent open on it so that we don't have any vacuum problems. Keep it just slightly closed so that there's been no issues with splashing out. But it's worked for our needs.
This is how we cook in the van. We chose to have 2 different options. So this one, if we decided we wanted to go outside and cook, we can take it. It's just butane. Very easy. But sometimes you might need 2 burners. We only have 1 each. This one is the one that's going to be plugged in. I also wanted more counter space. But if, you know, me and Eric are both in here, we can put it over here. Or we can put it over here. And we can just put it away.
So starting from the outside and going in, we have our water fill here. It's gravity filled down to our water tank. We have a 30-gallon tank. In front of that, we have a 5-gallon Bosch electric water heater. It's a little bit of an energy hog, but we only make hot water when we're intending to use it. Carry a little bit of tools. We've got a couple of these E-track, I think they call it, brackets for depending on what season. It allows us to tie some things down. So we have some here on the right side, we have one on the left side, and we also have some on the front. So if we wanted to carry some bikes, we could easily strap them down, stand-up paddleboard, skateboards, scooters, whatever the case might be. Right now you can see we're outfitted for winter sports, and that's what you're gonna see in here. We wanted to keep the garage area open, so we were able to access anything that's back here from the inside, and that's why we opted for bins. We went through a lot of different things about maybe using shelves or other different situations, but we figured the bin was most conducive to what we wanted to do. We can very easily take a bin out, bring it in our home, load it with whatever we're gonna need for whatever season, and go back on the road. Behind all of that may be a little bit hard to see, and we're never gonna really get a great view of it, but I've got a box that houses all of our electrical. And so inside this box, we have 300 amp hours of Battle-Born batteries. And then we've got all Victron components. We've got a Victron 3000 watt inverter, MPPT, so that way we can have our solar transferred into usable energy for it. We have a DC to DC charger that's hooked up to the alternator of the battery, or the alternator of the truck, so that we can charge the battery that way. And then we also have our breaker box for our solar panels. We have dedicated breakers for our solar, and we have a 30 amp fuse box that houses our AC circuits and our DC circuits. So we have 4 AC circuits and we have 12 DC circuits.
Cool.
That's about it.